Okay.
So one of the movies I wanted to review from, or make sure I watched rather, from last year was Sicario, because I didn't see it when it came out, and I had heard good things about it, and so I took the risk. I went ahead and bought the movie, hoping I would enjoy it, and boy did I. So let's get into this movie. It's about an idealistic FBI agent, Emily Blunt, who is enlisted by a government task force, which includes Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro, to aid in the escalating war against drugs at the border area between the U.S. and Mexico. So I'm going to start right off getting into it. First, this movie was just beautifully shot. There were so many really just captivating scenes in this movie. Including night scenes, which I thought was interesting because normally you don't get very good night scenes, but there's so many shots that I just couldn't take my eyes off of, as far as just the look and the feel of the movie. It was really well done in that aspect, for sure, and I appreciate it. And going with the acting was just brilliant all the way around. Just everyone did a stand-up job in this movie, and again, going back to the feel of the movie, it felt real. It had this grit to it, it just and there was, with the music, with the score going along in some of these scenes, it was slowly building up tension, and I bought into it. I was basically on the edge of my seat. It was just, there's a lot of really good action shots, but they do such a good job of building that tension among it. And even though I pretty much, I knew what was going to happen, it was still like there was suspense to it. I must say as well, there's so many aspects of this movie that just work. There's things that get carried along, that get built up over the course of the entire movie, not just the action, but say small character arcs, where we think the characters are going to go, or who the characters are, how they get developed. There's even the title of the movie gets brought up. From the opening scene, there's something that gets related to the end of the movie. It carries out. We see, characters that we're like, okay, why are these characters important? We find out why they're important. What is to them. They have more layers to them than just simply being a character for the sake of being it. The acting is just brilliant. Just brilliant acting. And action, like I said, the action sequences. So you've got so much going for this movie. And if you can't tell already, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really well done, and I'm glad I saw it. So, are there negatives though? Is there anything bad? Well, yeah. First off, Emily Blunt, like I said, great actress, did a good job, but she plays this idealistic FBI agent, and she's kind of supposed to be the conscience of this world. We're supposed to get her perspective and be able to relate to her as she's put in these situations, and how she's dealing with stuff. And we start off kind of being on board with that, but as the movie progresses, I found that I really lacked that much interest in her character, and I was more focused on the side characters and the end goal more than I cared about her. So she kind of drifted out from being important for me in any case. So you know, there is that, and her thing, you know, it gets tied up too. At the end, we kind of see uh, how she deals with being in this world. Um, but at the same time, it felt like I didn't really care like I should have cared. I just didn't cling like I didn't cling to her character. I almost felt a disconnect between her character and what the world is, which is supposed to be there to an extent, but she's supposed to, like, I didn't feel she really evolved to it. So I don't know. I just she felt a little out of place to me at times. I didn't feel the connection to her that I was supposed to, and sometimes she was questioning things that were happening, and I was like, well, I'm not sure why you're questioning it. I'm not sure why you made that leap. So you know, there is that. Uh, Going with the story itself, it's it's both a simple story on paper, but a complex kind of presentation of the story. Um, and what I mean by that is it just there's stuff that gets added onto it that makes it more interesting than the simple summary that you might get for it. There's more established to it, but they didn't set it up until the last portion of the movie. They were hinting at it, but they didn't really get the ball rolling until near the end of the movie. And so I would have preferred that they had, because I felt like the last third of the movie would have, like, I was so invested in that you couldn't get a word out of me. I was just focused on the screen, and I wish that we'd had more time to kind of be brought into that than when we were. So, you know, not a whole lot of gripes really. Um, you know, the movie's really good. There's a few actors here or there that didn't play the type of role I thought they would. They set them up like they were going to be of some relevance, and then they just kind of disappeared. You know, a part of it. But realistically, that's about it. I didn't know what to really expect from this movie, except that a lot of people had said it would be good. But just because people say it's going to be good doesn't mean I'm going to agree with it, obviously. But I found this movie to be a really good movie, and if it wasn't for, you know, problem I had with the main character of it, not by any means on the acting, but just the character herself, I had a few issues with. And there's, you know, small story problems that I would have liked to be laid out a little differently. This movie probably would have gotten a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. But because there's those moments, and because there's small moments where you know, it's kind of slower, which is fine, but it was kind of slower and lost a little bit of my interest. Yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, which I still think is fantastic and really close to a 10. Really close. I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. So yeah. So anyway, that's my opinion of it. Glad I saw it. Glad I got it. I do intend to obviously watch it again. But what did you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Go ahead and comment below. Let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed this vid. Click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and watch my other vids. Share your opinion. I love hearing from you guys. Also, I will be reviewing the 13 Hours movie, which is, I'll be watching it about on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, that'll wrap this up. So until next time, peace.